Alright, let's take a look at this month's newsletter tutorial. First I have to give credit where credit's due. The inspiration for this tutorial came to me from Scott Kelby. We were sitting around one day and he said, I wonder what would happen if you did this and this with a custom shape, and this is kind of where the idea was born from. So if you look on my image here, I've got a photograph of a woman that's got this cool torn edged effect to it, and I did this all with just one custom shape. So I didn't need brush tools, I didn't need selections or filters or anything like that. I just did it with one custom shape, and it was so easy that I think you're gonna really like the effect once you see it and start using it on your own images. So first thing you need to do is on the web page where you're watching this tutorial, there should be a link to download a custom shape set for Photoshop CS. Go ahead and download that file and it'll allow you to actually follow along with the tutorial here. Next thing you need to do is just drop that file into your custom shapes folder in CS, and you can find that. Just go to your default Photoshop install folder, click on presets, then click on custom shapes, and then just drop that photographic edge shapes .csh file right into that folder there, and you'll be ready to use it in Photoshop. One thing you'll need to do is make sure Photoshop has these shapes loaded. So go into your custom shapes palette, and I've already got mine loaded because I've used them before, but I'll click on reset and I'll start over again. Just click on load shapes, find the file that you want to load, and just double click on it. Photoshop will append those shapes right into your custom shapes palette. So now they're ready to use, and now you need to just open up a photograph that you want to apply the effect to. So I just happen to have a photograph of my two boys, Ryan and Justin, and yes, I'm a proud father and I take every chance I can. So, but the photograph actually works well for this effect. So first thing I need to do is just make sure that this layer is not a background. So I'm going to double click on it, then click OK, and it'll make it an ordinary layer. Then I need to add a layer below the background layer and fill it with white. So I'm going to Control or Command click on this new layer icon, and that'll actually add a new layer below whichever one's targeted. So it's a nice neat trick there. And I'm just going to fill it with white. Now I need to add a vector mask to this layer, not a layer mask, not the mask that you'd get if you clicked here, but a vector mask. So I choose Layer, Add Vector Mask, and I'm going to choose Hide All. So that's going to actually hide my entire photograph for now. Then I'm going to go and find my custom shape, this whatever edge effect that I want to use, and here's where it gets cool. I'm just going to pick the first one here, and I need to make sure that I have the Add to Path Area button selected in the top here, and I also need to make sure that I have the Paths button selected over here. And now just drag a custom shape out like you would any normal custom shape, and look what happens. It actually creates that photographic torn edge effect for us. Now if you need to reposition it, just come over into the toolbox here and click on the path selection tool, click once, and now you can just drag this this path anywhere you need to. And now I need to make it a little bit bigger, so I can press Control or Command T. That'll go into Free Transform, and now I can just drag that down a little bit, press Enter, and that confirms it. And now I've actually got my my rough torn edge effect that I've got from my photograph. The last step would be maybe to add a drop shadow to it just to give it some depth. So I'll double click on the layer here, and I'll add a drop shadow, and I'm just gonna bring the distance up and just bring the size up a little bit, and I'll drop the opacity down to about 45. Click OK, click off the layer, and now I've actually got this really cool torn edged effect, and I did it all with just one custom shape on a vector mask layer. So it's real easy to do, and it saves us all that time of having to use a brush or a selection or any of the filters to get that random torn edge effect. So there's 50 of those custom shapes in the shape set that I have available for this tutorial. So download it and experiment with those shapes because you've got plenty of inspiration to use. Finally, I'd like to say thank you to everybody, and we're going to be getting ready for Photoshop World next week. So if you're going, stop by and say hi. See you next time. Thanks.